All right, so move on to the next segment. Who is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history? So this is my opinion and who I believe is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history. The featherweight division has had a lot of prestige and honor to it. We've seen a lot of long, lengthy world title reigns in the history of the featherweight division in UFC. I think it's actually based off the great champions that we've seen of Jose Aldo, Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Conor McGregor. We've seen some true great featherweight champions in UFC history, so it's hard for me to have one. Definitely this featherweight division, it has to be one of the most prestigious divisions in UFC history. But I do believe that the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history, in my opinion, I do believe that Alexander Volkanovski is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history. And here's why. I do believe that Alexander Volkanovski is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history because he held the featherweight title for over 4 years with 5 successful title defenses, bringing prestige and honor to that featherweight division in the UFC. His climb to the top of the featherweight division was truly legendary. He picked up big wins on the way to the top of the mountain in the featherweight division against Darren Elkins, Mendez, Jose Aldo, who a lot of people believe is the greatest featherweight champion of all time. Not me. But Alexander Volkanovski then defeated a great champion in Max Holloway. And once he defeated Max Holloway for the championship, he went on to defeat Max Holloway 2 more times. But then he had one hell of a run as the featherweight champion. To me, Alexander Volkanovski brought a lot of prestige and honor to that featherweight division and made it one of the most exciting divisions in the UFC today. Alexander Volkanovski was a great champion and unfortunately lost his title at UFC 298 when he got knocked out by Ilia Topuria. So Ilia Topuria has a lot of shoes to fill in for and being a great featherweight champion. We're going to see if he can live up to the moniker of those guys that I just mentioned that were great featherweight champions. But Alexander Volkanovski, in my opinion, is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history. But those are my thoughts on who is the greatest featherweight champion in UFC history.